It's the National Football League. It's Week 2 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Patrick Mahomes and the Houston Voyagers taking on Justin Herbert and the LA Chargers.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up with the Los Angeles Chargers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talked about... storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the MVP of the National Football League in 2018, the former Texas Tech Red Raider, Patrick Mahomes. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt, able to spin free. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big pickup there on the run.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet. To throw, it's Mahomes. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Tyreek Hill. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Voyagers have taken a first-quarter lead. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. Tucker with the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive, 4 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020, the man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And he was terrific in the opener through 3 touchdown passes, and make no mistake about it, he was eager to get right back out and do it again. So I think we'll see him try to test the secondary quite a bit as this game goes on.
On first down, it's Herbert. This ball complete to Rager. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively spec and try and be aggressive on their first series. That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. Well, and you talked to me a lot. Now the ball comes loose, and this will be scooped up by the defense. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower postgame. Tucker now to add the point after. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Chargers get set to go here for their second drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Chris Jones coming right up the gut, gets in there for a loss of 9.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
After the sack on first down, Herbert, and that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Herbert. And this is going to be incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you come in off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start. And
He'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And he stopped immediately there. Credit the tackle there to Uchenna Nwosu. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Mahomes going to throw. And going deep for Hill. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers are going to get the football here at their own 23. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much, and it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler, and not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 16 carries and even 60 yards and a touchdown.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
On 2nd and 9. Herbert. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Nick Bolton. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. Over the middle, complete. It's Hunt. Touchdown! Kareem Hunt, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Voyagers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Tucker now for the extra point. Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. And he gets in. And no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead.
All right, partner, one more time. Our whole lives, you put the ball on the 3-yard line, kick the extra point. 2015, they put it on the 15 to kick the extra point. 2016, they said, we're leaving it there. So if you want to fake it, that's a long way to go. And they got it done.
I was going to say, they had a 15-yard play in their back pocket.
You don't see that on too many play sheets, do you?
No. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Charger drive about to get going. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. They started on the ground with Eckler. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big gain that time for the Chargers.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit, and that might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Three yards remain for 2nd down. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Herbert on 3rd down now. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Crisp sack of the afternoon. The Chargers will bring out the field goal unit now. This from 54 yards away. And this won't get there, won't be online either. It's no good, off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Travis Kelce, 56 yards. And the Voyagers continue to pull away here in this first half.
Boy, that route is really tough to cover because if they're running it correctly, you think it's really going to be a slant.
Yeah, well, we talk all the time about how it's tough to execute offensively, but you're saying, don't forget, it's tough to cover for the defense, too. Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. And that's something you almost never see nowadays. When you fake it, you're at the 15-yard line on a PAT as opposed to just going for it from the 2.
I'm sorry. I know they got it, and congratulations to them, but it's just not a good play. I mean, the risk-reward is really off the charts. Not in your favor. Run your offense out there. Put it on the 2-yard line if you want to go for 2. But I'll be darned. They ended up getting that one, didn't they?
Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll hand off here to Eckler. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
On is the Chargers punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. Fielded at the 33. And he will score. It's a touchdown. He goes 67 yards on the punt return. And the Voyagers just continue to roll.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Now Tucker to add the PAT. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it.
Well, I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number 1, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number 2, if you are going to go for 2, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. L.A. set to take over again on offense. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Second and 10. Here's Herbert once more. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Austin Eckler, the intended target. And it'll bring up 3rd down. Herbert now. That'll be caught. Rager with it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. On second down, Eckler. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season.
Meanwhile, Herbert's throw complete into the hands of Schultz here.
A gain of 6 there on first.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Herbert. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Now it's Herbert.
He dumps it to Eckler underneath. Big hole up the middle.
Touchdown, Chargers!
Austin Eckler.
His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Chargers are on the board here in the final minute of the first half.
Koo able to connect on the extra point. And they get a bit of a respite here from what's been an otherwise dreadful first half of football.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This taken in at the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. He does have the 1 interception, Charles, but I think that's been more than offset by the 3 first-half touchdown passes.
I would agree with you. There is a blemish, but when you've thrown 3 touchdown passes to try and erase it, that's a little bit better than the ratio that all NFL coaches are seeking from their quarterbacks, and he's giving it to them.
They'll take the 3-1.
Every single time.
There he goes, right side.
Oh, you gotta feel it, baby.
Touchdown game, 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Voyagers have got it on cruise control.
And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Tucker now to add the point after. Whoa! He just yanked that one well to the left, and no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Charger drive about to get going.
And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go. This to the outside for Mack.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin our tour out at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, where it was the visiting Raiders who were able to come away with a road victory. Josh Jacobs, a touchdown run in the victory. From there, we'll head up to Indy to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And things didn't work out for them as they fall to the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Colin Kaepernick, 2 touchdown passes as his guys make amends for the setback in Week 1. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. And right now they have the lead over the visiting New York Giants. Dalvin Cook with 2 touchdowns there. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Chargers going to get the football first here in this second half, and they trail as we get back underway. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. The Chargers getting ready to go here to start this third quarter, and they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half, so where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely, but you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Pretty good first down play. Keeps them ahead of schedule, as they say.
And ostensibly, they could go right back to it because there are multiple options on this play. Hand it inside, quarterback tucks it and keeps it, quarterback throws it.
Herbert has it knocked free. And now time is called as we've got an injured Charger down there on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler, and he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. And that is Allen, still down following the play. Appears to be shaken up. We'll check on his status when we get back. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Herbert. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Herbert. He finds his target. It's Schultz. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this will be taken at the 13. sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down. And he'll try and throw here on the fake. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise. And the Voyagers have taken a 6-touchdown lead. So, Charles, the bad taste from that opening week loss, that's just a memory now. This has been a very strong performance as they score once again.
Yeah, I know it's only week 2, but you're exactly right. Because they got away in the opener, and not only were they determined to not let the same thing happen here, they knew that they had to correct a bunch of things. So everything went wrong in game 1. They took care of business with it in game 2.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. They got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. Once more, here's Eckler, and he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. And now time is called as we've got an injured Charger down there on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This is brought in at the 21.
Found good room to run there. Returns at 14 yards.
And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Houston set to take over.
And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43.
117 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They're going to run this with a tight end. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. From midfield, here's Mahomes. Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Mahomes now on the option right. And a little spin cycle. Room to run now. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball. But the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
2 yards left on 2nd down from the 9.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Flushed out right. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Patrick Mahomes. A 9-yard touchdown run.
And the Voyagers are pouring it on.
Tucker now for the extra point. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. And this play is not going to work. He's out of bounds, well shy of the goal line. And the try for 2, unsuccessful.
I know they're not asking me, but I'll give you my opinion anyway. I think it's time to erase that play from the call sheet. I guess they figure with the big lead they can experiment a little bit. But all in all, just go ahead and put that play on ice.
This one taken just inside the 10. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And the LA offense ready for this next, their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball...
They're trying for Rager, but it's intercepted.
Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. Hunt going to run for it. And they're just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there. And sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Charger drive about to get going. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Rager catches it left side.
That catch good for only a couple.
2nd down and 8.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Going to throw on third down with Herbert, and that is incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And take it right on the 30. Spinning again. Oh, he nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And that will come the offense as they take over. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
And they'll begin by running the option.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Now they'll throw with Mahomes. And he's got it. Touchdown. Tyreek Hill. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Voyagers extend their lead yet again.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them.
Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. And he is not going to get there. They get him out of bounds well shy of the goal line. And the defense holds on the 2-point conversion.
Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare them to do that?
Maybe they saw something on film, but do you see something on film when those to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hold, and someone kicking the ball through the post.
That's into the hands of Eckler.
And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball. This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for them. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. The Chargers on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. Herbert. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Chris Jones able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It'll be a 51-yard attempt. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. He had it online, gave it a pretty good ride too, but in the end, he's a victim of the crossbar.
And Brandon, you know kickers very well. I bet if we ask him after the game, he'll say he didn't get all of it. We've seen him hit from deeper than this in warm-ups, but here, he's a foot or so from clearing that bar.
They'll start with Hunt on the ground. Oh, twisting away. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he'll be taken down deep into Charger territory.
173 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
Big run here in the 4th as they continue to wear down this defense.
And that's when the offensive line coach clicks onto the headset and says, head coach, offense coordinator, let my guys fire out and hit people. We're wearing them down. Let's finish them off with the running game.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, we're looking at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. On 2nd and goal, the lone man in the backfield is Hunt. He's going to get it running right. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Come on, let's go!
Now Tucker to add the PAT. Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. Powers past him at the 5. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Taken at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Charger drive about to get going. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10.
Herbert. Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down.
Chris Jones. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. A big offensive explosion help leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
Here, they at least get the win here to earn a split of their first 2 home games. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Atlanta Falcons next week. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to...